Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city, and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Ask data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
Hi guys. So my name is Igor. I'm originally from Ukraine, and I did maybe the weirdest job transition from math scientist. I'm a PhD in math, and I've developed, I think, one of the most complicated questions in modern mathematical modeling and physics. I've worked with fluid dynamics, with non-Newtonian liquids, so with heavy computed physics and math. And then I've transited to marketing, to PPC, to Google Ads, and applied some interesting ideas from the scientific world to the PPC. And long story short, why this happened. So back in 2006, when I started my education in university, I spent all money that my parents gave me for the first month. I spent it after several parties, and I realized that I have no money to live, and I need to earn some. And I've decided to open the smallest e-commerce shop. Because I've been a gamer, so I've decided to order from China, from AliExpress, the artifacts from the games, like swords from Warcraft, some machine guns from Counter-Strike, and so on, and sell it to other gamers with a 5 times multiplier for price. So, and after several attempts to sell this stuff through the forums, I realized that I need to try some predictable source of traffic. And I've tried Google Ads for the first time back in 2006. After my first attempt with Google Ads, I clearly remember I said, it's a waste of my money. It's just nothing. Google Ads is not working for me, and I need to find another source. Then I've read a book written by Perry Marshall. Who knows this book? The Ultimate Guide to Google Ads. It was written back in 2006 by Perry Marshall, American expert. And from my second attempt in Google Ads, I've succeeded with selling of my products of artifacts from the games. So today I want to share with you some core principles that I brought from the scientific world to the marketing world, and I use every day to optimize my campaigns, optimize my advertising. So pretty often you can see the pictures like these into LinkedIn or from the stage when some marketer collected an enormous amount of information and give us some insights. Like in this case, how many headlines should we use for RSA in Google Ads? 3 or maybe 4 to 9 or 10 or 15. And a lot of you always take pictures of this information, but please don't take a picture because it's just random numbers. I want to show you why these numbers are not something that we should blindly believe in. So what's wrong with these numbers? First of all, first problem, the average. Do you know these two guys, yeah? I've chosen this guy not because I'm his big fan, but just because he's most recognizable billionaire in the world. And our average net worth, $175 billion on average. But if we were looking a little bit deeper, we found out that He has 350 billions, and I have slightly less. But on average, we are both multi-billionaires. So the first problem when we look into aggregated data is to understand that these data were collected from different countries, different niches, different businesses, different price segments. And it's like, we have 100 kilograms of rotten bananas and 100 kilograms of underripped bananas. But on average, we have 200 kilograms of ripe bananas. So when we are looking to some aggregated data, we need to understand where they came from. Another problem, correlation with causation. It's a very popular meme from the internet when some scientific organization just compared how many films with Nicolas Cage appeared in particular year with number of people who drowned by falling into a pool. And they found that this data is correlated between each other. What does it mean? That Nicolas Cage caused these people drowned by falling into a pool? Or this means that these two numbers just correlate between each other without any causation. It's not because Nicolas Cage appeared in the films. It's because the nature have a lot of similar events that we can see in the particular year. So in our case, when we look into some numbers that for sure correlates, for example, my last screenshot with headlines and results with ROAS, it could be causation, but I'm almost sure it's correlation. Why? Because we have third problem. Third problem, we call it the iceberg effect. If we are looking only at the top inside, we can decide that best practice use exactly 3 headlines in every RSA, because 3 headlines showed us the better performance. But under the water, we can see that on different devices, it can be different, with dynamic keywords insertion or without, with different keyword match types, with different pinned headlines, and so on. So when we are looking into some general numbers, we miss the information behind it. So when I want to encourage the marketers who are starting to fishing for answers, when you face like a new interface or new type of campaigns and you want to determine which exactly setting you need to choose, this one or this one, which exact numbers you need to put into this field, and so on, I want to ask you not to fishing for answers in the internet, in the LinkedIn and so on, but start learning how to fish your own answers from your own data. So I want to share with you 3 timeless principles to master your data, your own data. And you can use these principles forever, not just until Google or Facebook or somewhere else next update. So the first principle, when we need to make some binary decision, like do we need to use dynamic keyword insertion or cut down, dynamic countdown, or dynamic location insertion, or do we need to check the optimized targeting, or do we need to increase the strength of our ads, or do we need to use search? By the way, about the Google Search Partners checkbox, usually you can find a recommendation that you have to always turn off Google Search Partners. But I have several cases where for the clients, for the projects, we received the best return of our investments with Google Search Partner, turn it on. So, but we tested it on our own data, not just blindly believe into somebody else's decisions. And when you start to obtain the data based on your account, based on your own business that you work with, and based on your location, you started to understand how the algorithm for you works internally. I want to share one very interesting case where I had a project where chief marketing was obsessed with account optimization score. He said, I want to increase the account optimization score. If Google recommends us something, we need to apply it because it's best practices from Google. And we did just 2 measurements. First measurement, we took before the optimization. We had a CPA near $26. And the second measurement we took after all applying of all recommendations from Google. And what we actually received, very good optimization score. The best one, well, Google loves us. But almost twice higher CPA and almost twice lower ROAS. So based on my experience, my 18 years experience in Google Ads, I've collected 3 main points based on the data that I collected. By the way, I spent 700 million in Google Ads, so slightly higher than you. Yeah, it's around all accounts. So I found out that 3 main things. First, ignore optimization score, always. Optimization score is something that Google invented to earn more money. Because Google, I spoke with a lot of Google employees. I worked closely with Google 18 years, and I can definitely say that Google used to be corporation of good. The corporation that gave to their customers the best that they can. But now, Google slightly transited to corporation for investors, for stock market, and it's my personal opinion that as an organization, they think more about how to increase the valuation of the company and their stock prices, rather than to fulfill the advertisers' success. So ignore optimization score. Second one, ad strength not equal ad success. I've seen a lot of ads with the lower, not even middle, but the lowest possible ad strength that was extremely efficient. And I've tested a lot of times, okay, if I will increase the ad strength to excellent, will I have some increase in ROAS or something like this? Never. It was real causation. Sometimes it was like a correlation. I've increased the ad strength, and I received a slightly better outcome. But in general, it almost, even not almost, I think 100% of the cases, it was absolutely not equal increasing of ad strength with increasing of ad success. And the last one that I learned, that broad match not equal lower cost. Previously, I thought when you when you go from the exact match to phrase match to broad match, if you will look into the dashboard, you will see decreasing in cost per click, maybe increasing or decreasing different parameters. But what I found out that it's almost the same if you will look. So if you will detail these keywords by search terms and will compare the cost per click per search term in exact phrase and broad match, you will find that they are absolutely equal. And the lower cost per click for broad match is it's just because we dilute our keywords, dilute our search terms, not because Google gives us opportunity to receive clicks for cheaper price, not because of that. Second principle, when you need to choose the right value. Let's say for video campaign, you need to choose like some particular frequency, cap frequency, or for like the most, I think, the number that worried a lot of advertisers, which target CPA should I use for this campaign? Of course, when we start to work in some project, we can speak with owner or chief marketer and ask him like, how much can you spend on CPA? And usually it's conversation like, sorry, we cannot afford CPA about $10 or $20. We can, it's absolutely impossible. But when you start to ask the questions, but what if we will increase your CPA and you will receive like 10 times more conversions, you will receive 5 times more profit. What if, in this case, can we increase CPA? Yeah, in this case, usually, yes, of course, why not? And why a lot of entrepreneurs usually think that they cannot increase their target CPA, they cannot increase their budget, because they usually did several measurements. Let's say initially they've launched the ads with $10 CPA and they received some profit, 1,000, let's say. After this, they've tried, okay, what if we will increase our target CPA, we will triple our target CPA? How much money will we have? And they measured, make the second measurement, that all zero profit, all our money went to Google Ads. But what if we will start to measure, we will split this curve and we will start to measure something in between? Whoa, if we put $12 target CPA, we can receive slightly better profit. What if we will put, by the way, this graph was built by real numbers from real marketing campaign. What if we will try with target CPA something near 24? We will have 1,000 more profit. Yeah? What if we measure every single possible target CPA in between of these two numbers, we will find the optimal value. And this measurement, I encourage every marketer to perform in their businesses, because like from my experience, the best revenue, the best profit business receives from the huge amount of conversions when they scale massively. And you can scale massively usually only by increasing your target CPA, because when you go to the broader market, you need to spend more. So you can to measure which exactly not revenue but profit you receive from different CPAs. And you can ask, okay, so should I measure every single like increment for $1, 10, 11, 12, and so on? No, you can measure not every number, but test smarter. We call it in science the bisection method. When you just split the section, let's say 10 CPA and 30 CPA, split in between. Somewhere in between is 20. Measure 20. Okay, it's like higher than 10. Split in between 15. Split in between 17. And you can find the best possible amount for this decision. And principle 3, segment to win. When you make a decision about some campaign, is it profitable or not, remember that you can split this campaign and you can extract the hidden profit from the different slices. I will show you a very simple example. So we had a campaign with ROAS, initial ROAS, 85%. And some guys decided just to stop this campaign. But then we dived deep into segmentation by device, and we found out that users from computers converted 3 times better than users from tablet and mobiles. So we excluded tablet and mobiles, and we received ROAS slightly higher. Then we decided that it was in the United States, that Texas and Florida spent half of our money without that good results. So we turned off Texas and Florida and received slightly higher ROAS. And the last one, in a search campaign, we found out that some audience in observation mode in search performs better than others. So we changed the audiences to the targeting mode and received again slightly better ROAS, from 85 to 290, just because of segmentation. So never trust the overall ROAS. Its QR code leads to my LinkedIn, so happy to connect and happy to hear from you what impressed you the most in my speech, and maybe some additional questions. So happy to share, happy to speak. Thank you.